The unsung heroes of World War I, the role of Italian Americans. When we think about World War I, what quickly strikes our minds are names of the major players, like the United States, Germany, and France. But did you know that Italian Americans played a significant role in the war? Of course you didn't, right? So all you history buffs, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we will uncover fascinating stories from the past and shed light on the incredible contributions made by Italian Americans during World War I. You won't believe the impact they had, so let's jump right in. Before we delve into their heroic feats, let's set the stage. Millions of Italian immigrants flocked to America at the turn of the 20th century, seeking new opportunities and a better life. However, their dreams were soon interrupted by the outbreak of World War I. It was a global conflict that lasted from 1914 to 1918 and involved many countries and millions of people worldwide. While the United States did not enter the war until 1917, many Americans, including Italian Americans, played important roles in the war effort. Early settlement of Italian Americans in the United States. Italian Americans were one of the largest immigrant groups in the United States during the early 20th century. Many of them had come to the United States in search of a better life and had settled in cities like New York, Chicago, and Boston. Italian American settlement in the United States was driven by a combination of factors. Seeking economic opportunities, many Italians left their homeland due to poverty, unemployment, and limited social mobility. The rapid industrialization and urbanization in the United States presented attractive prospects for employment, drawing Italian immigrants to industries such as mining, manufacturing, construction, and agriculture. Chain migration played a significant role, as initial immigrants would bring over their relatives and friends, establishing Italian-American communities and preserving their language, culture, and traditions. When World War I broke out, many Italian Americans felt a strong sense of loyalty to their new country and wanted to do their part to help. Italian Americans' service in the military. One of the most significant contributions of Italian Americans during World War I was their service in the military. Over 350,000 Italian Americans served in the armed forces during the war, making up nearly 10% of the total American forces. Many of them were immigrants or the children of immigrants, and they fought bravely on the front lines alongside their fellow soldiers. Italian Americans found themselves on the front lines of the conflict, fighting in the treacherous trenches of France and the rugged mountains of Italy. They faced unimaginable hardships, from the perils of battle to the harsh conditions of war. Yet, despite the challenges, Italian-American soldiers exhibited extraordinary courage and resilience. Many distinguished themselves through acts of valor, earning decorations and commendations for their bravery. Italian-American soldiers were involved in some of the most important battles of World War I, including the Battle of the Piave River in Italy. This battle was a turning point in the war, resulting in a major victory for the Italian army. Italian-American soldiers also fought in battles in France and other parts of Europe, and many of them were recognized for their bravery and heroism. In addition to their service in the military, Italian-Americans also played important roles on the home front. They worked in factories and other industries that were crucial to the war effort, producing weapons, ammunition, and other supplies needed by the military. World War I profoundly impacted the identity and perception of Italian Americans. Prior to the war, Italian immigrants and their descendants faced widespread discrimination and stereotypes that portrayed them as undesirable or disloyal. However, their participation in the war played a crucial role in breaking down these negative perceptions and fostering a greater acceptance within American society. Women's role. Italian women swiftly rose to the occasion, displaying unwavering patriotism and a fierce determination to contribute in any way possible. They became the backbone of support for their country, both on the home front and beyond. In response to the urgent need for personnel, Italian women enthusiastically joined various organizations and institutions, dedicating their time, skills, and energy to support the war effort. They played a crucial role during World War I. They took up positions as nurses, doctors, and aid workers, providing vital medical assistance to the wounded soldiers. Their language skills and cultural knowledge also enabled them to serve as interpreters and translators, facilitating communication between soldiers and Italian-speaking communities. Italian-American women demonstrated their patriotism through community activities, participation in patriotic parades, and volunteering for civil defense organizations. Italian women also actively participated in fundraising campaigns, organizing events, and selling war bonds to finance the war. Their unwavering support played a crucial role in sustaining the nation's morale. Italian Americans' role in supply. Italian Americans contributed to the war effort by working in factories and manufacturing facilities. They played a crucial role in producing ammunition, weaponry, and other essential supplies needed by the military. These Italian Americans brought their skills and craftsmanship to the steel, textile, and munitions industries. They played a significant role in meeting the immense production targets set by the war. They were also instrumental in the transportation and logistics sectors. They worked as truck drivers, warehouse managers, and railroad workers, ensuring supplies reached the front lines efficiently. Italian Americans faced discrimination and prejudice during World War I despite their contributions. Many Americans viewed them as foreigners and suspected them of being disloyal to the United States. Italian Americans were often subjected to harassment and violence, and many were even interned in prison camps. Italian Americans facing cultural challenges in World War I. During World War I, Italian Americans indeed faced cultural challenges and discrimination due to Italy's initial alignment with the Central Powers. As a result, suspicions arose regarding the loyalty of Italian Americans to the United States. Fears of potential espionage or sabotage drove this skepticism and prejudice. Italian Americans, however, actively worked to dispel these doubts and prove their allegiance to their adopted country. Italian Americans faced discrimination and prejudice during World War I. Many Americans viewed them as foreigners and suspected them of being disloyal to the United States. This was partly due to the fact that Italy had been an ally of Germany and Austria-Hungary before entering the war on the side of the Allies in 1915. As a result, Italian Americans were often subjected to harassment and violence, and many were even interned in prison camps. The government established several internment camps for Italian Americans, many of whom were forced to live in harsh and overcrowded conditions. Italian Americans were also subjected to other forms of discrimination during this time. For example, many were fired from their jobs or denied employment due to their ethnicity. They were also targeted by vigilant groups and faced violence and intimidation. Italian American communities rallied behind the war effort, organizing fundraising campaigns, participating in patriotic activities, and demonstrating their support for the United States. They actively engaged in buying Liberty bonds to finance the war, and contributed to the American Red Cross and other relief organizations. Despite these challenges, Italian Americans remained loyal to their new country and continued to contribute to the war effort. So you see, the contributions of Italian Americans during World War I are so many, but we never had a clue until now. Italian Americans played a significant role in World War I, both on the front lines and on the home front. They helped to shape the outcome of the war by fighting bravely alongside fellow soldiers and working tirelessly to support the war effort. Despite facing discrimination and prejudice, Italian Americans remained loyal to their new country and helped shape the war's outcome. Today, it's important to remember the contributions of Italian Americans during World War I and to honor their sacrifices. By doing so, we can gain a greater appreciation for the diversity and strength of our country and the people who have helped shape it. Did you find this video informative? What are your thoughts after finding out the role Italian Americans played in the outcome of World War I? Which contribution was the most surprising for you? Please share your feedback in the comment section, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to improve your knowledge on world history, current affairs, and many more hot and trending topics. Thanks for watching!